I'd like to call the Northwood Board of Selectmen meeting to order on June 5th, 2018 at 6:33. I'll do roll call. Donald Hutchin, here.
Scott Breyer is here.
Beth Boudreau is hopefully coming here a little late. She had a meeting at the school to attend, so hopefully she'll be here soon. We will now do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have no public hearings,
No.
so we'll go into citizens forum. Anybody in here want to speak to citizens forum? Rick, Winnie? No? Okay. No appointments?
Do you want to do it now in Citizens Forum while you're here?
No, I just want to do this. That's the trailer thing.
No appointments? So we'll go right into unfinished business.
So the first matter of unfinished business is the transfer station gate proposal. We did receive a...
Could we do that, wait till,
Beth is here?
yeah,
Sure,
thanks.
we can do that.
Since we did push it off for you to be here too.
Yeah.
That's fair. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But while we're on that, did you happen to get a quote on what it would be for extra key fobs?
The gentleman from Superior Fence did not get back to me as far as what the
I mean, obviously we
individual
don't need
cost
that
of
now,
key fobs
but-
are. Well, I'll discuss it when
Yeah, that's
Beth's here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have a recommendation for the electric from OB Electric.
Okay.
The transfer station swap shop.
Guy hasn't shown.
He still has not showed. I did give the gentleman a call, and he indicated that, yeah, he would pull a permit next week. So it's entirely up to you if you want to wait on him, or if you would like to go with the other quote that had been provided by...
No idea. All right. What do you want to do, Scott? Do you want to go? Do you want to wait, or do you want to go to the other quote?
Robert Sawyer had quoted $1,620.
What's this for, the ditching?
No, this is for
The swap
this is
shop.
for the swap
Oh,
shop.
okay.
Well, the guy never showed, so now are we going? He says he's going to pull a permit next week, but he's already bailed on one deadline. It's already been 3 months. Do we want to continue to give him a chance, or do we want to move on?
Why, what is
It's
his,
a second bid.
what is his reason for not doing it?
His reason that he gave me the last time I spoke with him was that he was shorthanded and it was just him by himself to do the work.
What's the difference in price between the two?
Quite a
bids?
bit.
Quite a bit, like almost double.
I say we wait.
Okay.
I mean, if it's, because we're trying to save cost down there, right?
Well, then, I'm okay with waiting, but we have to set a deadline of when we're going to start using that building, regardless of electricity. Because
Why can't, now
we
that...
can use it without electricity,
Well,
because the one that we have now doesn't have electricity.
Right now, I don't understand why we can't use it, because it's
We
light
can.
out till after 8
It
o'clock.
can. Well, and they just put a huge street light right
Oh,
above
wait a
it.
second. Is it because if you start putting a lot of stuff in there, getting away if he does the electrical
Just
work?
slide it out, as long as you don't put anything to, I mean, if
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I understand exactly what you're saying, but we're only putting in 2 outlets at a dropped light. So, I mean, you can just slide out whatever you need. I get exactly what you're saying, but we want to start using it. We need to get rid of it. The whole point was to get rid of the other building.
Did he give you a tentative date he could do it?
He just said he would pull the permit next week. Previously, he had told me that it was going to be after the 24th and it would take him a couple days to do. The 24th is obviously passed. The 24th of May.
I'm fine waiting another week or so.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to...
Well, I think we need to put a deadline by next meeting. We need to put a deadline of when we're going to
Can you
move
ask
on.
if we'll
One way or
give
the
him,
other.
till our next meeting. Is that okay?
What, if
two
he can have it done by then, or
Yeah.
at least start it by then, yeah, I'm fine with that. We just gotta set some sort of deadline so we can start using the building, so we're not, it's been there now
Yeah, no, I
since
know.
March.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't want to, if the quote's almost double, I don't
It is
wanna-
close to almost double, am I correct with that, pretty close?
Yeah,
What was the
Obie's,
first quote?
Obie's quote was 2,900,
Theirs was like 17, or
Sawyer's
something.
was 1,620.
It's like almost $1,500 difference, $1,300 difference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm fine waiting.
Okay.
So we'll, if they can
Readdress it
start
next
work within 2
meeting.
weeks.
Yeah. Great.
So do we wanna, accept minutes without her here, or would you wanna wait for that?
I'm fine. I mean, I wanted to
You
include
actually
her,
weren't at that meeting, so we're gonna have to
wait for her anyways.
wait for her anyways. So, processing various assessing forms and applications.
Anything controversial?
Nothing controversial. 2 administrative abatements.
So I have 2 administrative abatements. I assume both of these are being recommended.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're doing administrative abatement on map 122, lot 107, sublot 3. The location of the property is Ash Street, Northwood. Total amount to be abated is $551.80. And I'll make a motion for that one, and I'll also make a motion for the second property on map 219, lot 23, sublot 2 on 170 Ridge Road. Total amount to be abated is $872.80.
I'll second both motions. Any discussion?
Did you want to look at these, or?
I actually had them in my packet. Well, I had seen them.
I'm all set.
Yeah, I'm all set too.
Okay.
Make a call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
Oh, but then go with it.
Is that it for assessing?
Yep, that is all.
You got
Manifest?
the manifest, yeah? Okay. Make a motion to approve manifest number P, 2018, number 12, in the amount of $50,262.75.
Second. Any discussion?
No.
Seeing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0. Do you have any purchase orders?
We have one purchase order at the last meeting. Beth and DJ had agreed to have DJ sign the contract with McFarland and Johnson for the Bow Lake Bridge reconstruction.
Oh, okay.
So I've just prepared a purchase order for the full amount that Sandy will draw down on. There is no account number listed. Sandy is setting up.
So this is just the engineering.
Yep, this is just the engineering.
DOT approved this?
Correct.
Okay.
In that amount.
So she's gonna have to set up an account for this?
She, yes, where we've had quite a few grants, she's gonna set up grant accounts. So I don't have that account number yet.
Do we need a motion? We already approved it?
We didn't approve the sum, we just approved the awarding
I'll
of the
make
contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the amount of $150,890.86. Bow Lake Ridge Bridge for the engineering study, design, and bidding.
Second.
I have no comments.
All right, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye. And this is just the red listed,
Bridge.
for the public, a red listed bridge that we've been setting money aside, and the state's gonna pay like
80%.
8%.
Right. And I'm gonna be meeting with Josh Lund from McFarland and Johnson tomorrow morning, just to familiarize myself with the project, as I've been not fully involved.
Okay, before we open the culvert bids, I did speak, obviously, we gave the highway committee the opportunity to come in,
Yeah.
and they said to just go with the lowest bidder. And along with the painting bids, I'm gonna recuse myself from that one, and if Beth is not here, we're gonna have to push those off.
Okay. Well, are you bidding on those?
No, but a family member did bid on them, so,
Is it a brother?
father.
Oh, okay.
But I don't stand any financial gain, but I'm still gonna recuse myself
I
from the whole
understand.
conversation.
Yeah.
So, but again, I spoke to Steve Bailey, the facility committee chair, and he just said go with the lowest bidder. I'm just passing along the information before we open the bids, so that way it's
So let's
cut and
table-
dry, it hasn't been seen, or haven't been opened.
Okay.
But we can do the culverts, because I have no ties with that
Okay,
one.
let's do the culverts.
We just, the painting ones, we can do the culverts, and we can talk about the camper permit, and then we'll have to wait for the painting. Yeah, I don't see why you can't open them, you just can't make a decision, right? He can open the painting ones, he just can't make a
How
decision.
many culvert ones do we?
Just 2 for the culvert, and we have 4 painting.
Can he open them and I just sit out there and just at least get that out there? Just can't make an actual decision on it?
Whoa. Oh. All right, I got
Benefit. They're not the lowest bidder.
so I got, okay, so Janice Pond and Sherburne Hill Road culvert replacement ditch work. I have Hall's excavation, total project cost of $58,500. The total ditch work including tree stumping is $6,000 and the total culvert installation is $52,500. How many culverts are they putting in?
That I'm not 100% sure of. It should have a breakdown on the other,
Okay.
I don't know what the other one is, but that seems like it's reasonable. We'll see what this one is.
This is from M.A. Bean Associates, Sanborn, New Hampshire. They're supposed to submit this thing.
yes.
Oh, what's here? All right. Wow. Okay. They want total ditch work, including tree stumping, of $81,000 and total culvert installation of $43,000 for a total project cost of $124,000.
Okay. My only question would be, being such a drastic difference, does the first company know what they're... Obviously, we didn't have a walkthrough for this one.
Right. However, the first company, I believe, is the company that met Charlie out there and asked questions. The other one, you may want to look on the breakdown, because we did include the potential for driveway culverts. They would have had to speak with Charlie to
That's on
see if
the-
there were any driveway culverts that actually needed to be done. So they may have just priced out driveway culverts, which are potentially not necessary.
Scope of work. Remove and install 18-inch pipe, 5 runs. So it looks like they're doing a total of 12 culverts. That looks like their scope of work. If I'm reading that correctly.
That would be their scope of work.
Who are you looking right here?
Right
Well,
here.
here's the prices here.
I'm not looking, I was looking at what, because she was worried about, did they, I would think 13 culverts sound, that doesn't sound like enough to do driveway culverts, considering there's a lot of driveways, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, they got the biggest chunk of theirs is the construct roadside ditches, 81,000.
I think Sherburne Hill is a lot more work than I believe, there's a lot of stumps.
Cause they.
I actually
he's-
figured they'd be around
Well,
what they-
their culvert costs are about the same,
Okay.
27,800,
Okay.
30,000. The crushed gravel,
It's basically the same.
yeah, they have
I mean, it's a
walls,
little bit off, but not too bad.
2,000.
I mean, that's where those differences
Oh,
are.
installed driveway culverts, 2,000.
So it's $2,000 difference, but they have it too.
So they got the
They have it at 4,000 in theirs. So Hollis has 4,000.
So, yeah, but here's the big difference on the construct roadside ditches.
Yeah, is,
They have 6,000,
and this one has 81,000.
81,000. So what would be driving that big discrepancy?
Is it the stumps in the side of the road, side of the ditching on Sherburne Hill? Because that's what concerned us to bid it out. That's the one, that's what concerned us to bid it out, was the stumps on the side of the road. I'm not a road ditcher, so I couldn't.
Well, but it's right here, remove tree stumps in the roadside ditch line, no cost.
But how,
He's
well,
got $500.
construct a roadside ditch.
Yeah, but like, look, we had a
I
separate,
understand, but why, I understand what you're saying.
so I have a question.
It seems awful cheap to remove stumps, $500 on all the stumps out of there. I mean, we cut down, look at all the trees in Spike's property.
Yeah, but that's saying, if you read this, I'm being a little nitpicky here, but it says remove tree stumps in the roadside ditch line.
I see what it says.
That's not Spike Shad.
I understand, I'm saying, that's the amount of ditches, that's the amount of stumps that are in the ditch line is how many trees are in his yard, how many trees are laying there, because all those came from that ditch line.
Yeah, just trying.
I'm just kind of giving a reference of how many stumps there is. I read what it says.
I know, but, yeah, but is he saying he's gonna remove the trees in Spike Shad or? remove the
No,
trees-
he's not removing.
Yeah, that's
We-
what I meant.
We wish. We wish.
See, I gotta tell you, this sends up a red flag for me, because why is there such a price discrepancy in all the other numbers are kinda,
Close, except for that one.
and this one, the cheaper bid actually has flaggers, and this bid has no flaggers, so why, did somebody totally miss something?
Are they expecting no flaggers?
Scope of work did have flaggers.
Did have flaggers?
Did have, yep.
This one says no bid for flaggers. It doesn't say no cost, it just says no bid, which is weird.
He might be covering the cost within his,
Within his bid.
well, I gotta tell you, these are so different that I don't feel comfortable making this decision without
Asking more
inquiring
questions.
more
Yep.
questions.
Right, so are you thinking that,
Because if I just go with low bid, I might get like really low bid.
you might not get what we're expecting.
So,
So what kind of
I
questions are you
wanna,
looking to ask?
well, what,
And who are you looking to ask them?
what Charlie, oh, Charlie hasn't seen these?
Charlie has not seen these.
These are sealed.
And, well, the other thing is too, well, no, but my question is the Highway Advisory Committee doesn't want to see these.
No, they didn't want to not want to see him. I asked him to be here because we're kind of under the gun to make this decision. And I didn't want to kick it out them and drag it out another month. That's why I asked him to
But
be
the
here.
thing is-
We can.
No, I'm not saying kick it out another month.
It's gonna
but
be at least 2 weeks. At least.
I'm
minimum.
not I'll openly admit in public, I'm not an expert on
Neither am I.
road construction.
If you want to
and
kick it to
ditching
them, and
and,
hopefully they can pull a special meeting next week and then we
I'm
can
not,
discuss it.
With such a big discrepancy between the two bids, it makes me wonder, did somebody miss the mark on something?
I do know one of the companies talked to Charlie and the other one just submitted it on the last day. So there could be a communication breakdown. I can call
When
both
do you want
companies.
to get the roads paved? Because
I want to get them done, but
do you want to kick it to the facilities committee or get the road agent's opinion? And then
I
make a
like to at
decision
least
next 2
get
weeks?
Charlie's opinion, and if possible, the road committee's opinion, because,
Can you see if they'll meet next Wednesday? Although
is there any
I won't be able to attend. Can you attend that one?
on Wednesday?
Unless they can meet another day. I have a rec committee meeting next Wednesday. And I'm on both. They don't normally meet on the same day. They normally meet 2 different Wednesdays. I mean, unless they're willing to meet on
Well,
a
I
different
mean,
day.
there's a scope of work. I mean, they both have the same scope of work.
Although usually the road does usually meet at 7 and rec meets at 6, so I could probably make it sometime.
No, I mean, I can do it if you're stuck.
No, I'm not stuck. I just want to. I can't go to both. I can't be at both.
Could we clone you? And
Trust me, you don't want another me. I understand your concerns with the huge discrepancy. I agree with you, 100%. I do. I just didn't want to. I don't want to push it out too far.
No, I
We're
don't
not
either.
getting-
I don't.
That we're
I
not
don't
getting
either.
them done.
Could we see if we could fast track this a little? Get this. Get our questions answered.
Yep, absolutely. I can have the questions
I
ready
don't-
for your next meeting.
I mean,
I don't really have to
it's
go to the
obvious.
highway committee either. They don't need me.
It's obvious that if we're gonna go with low bid, it's gonna be this. But my question is there something this guy like totally missed?
They might not even have to have a meeting. That could be Steve could kind of, or whatever he wants to do.
I mean, if you could start out with Steve and
See what his thoughts are.
we're not being very decisive tonight, are
No,
we?
you're not.
Well,
There's a lot of things hanging out here.
all right. So
I'm gonna keep mine.
Yeah, that's fine. I will call the companies, and I will also have Charlie and at least Steve Bailey look at the two and see if
He
we can
wants to
find
pull.
out where the discrepancy
If he
lies.
decides he wants to pull a highway advisory committee
I'd
meeting,
like
just-
to. I
let me
would
know.
like to make a comment. Can we go to Selectmen's comments? Since
we got one more thing to
I'm
do.
sorry, I'm just
yeah.
rushing along.
You have just a
seasonal
couple-
camper permit. We have
Couple
some-
things
some
to
other
say.
things.
Seasonal camper permit, I had provided this,
You weren't here and we didn't
last
know anything
week-
about it. We've never heard more of one.
I had gotten I printed the tax card. I had Dale, the building inspector, review,
They can. Yeah, it's just for the summer, right?
right,
And how do we know how do we know we get out? He makes sure they get out, right?
yes, the building inspector will go out.
So
and-
this
and make
people
sure.
owns property and they want to throw a camper on there for the summer.
Correct.
And building inspector didn't see any concerns or anything?
Nope, he did not, and we have a policy where they're charged, I believe it's $50 a day, should they go past the October 15th date.
I'm okay with it now that we have the more information. This was something that you weren't here and we had never
Sure.
seen one.
No, I
So we
know.
didn't have any idea what it was.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve the seasonal camper permit application. Colleen Macris, I can't even pronounce that.
Montplaisir.
Montplaisir, thank you.
Is that close?
That's close
Sounds good.
enough. This is for, what's the address? Oak Street,
Correct.
lot 69, tax map 122, lot 69. So I'll make a motion to approve this seasonal camper permit. Should we put effective, what would be the day that they gotta be out by?
October 15th.
Correct.
So this permit is good through October 15th.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none? Call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0.
Winnie is here, and she has a wetland trail notification.
Okay.
I came in to talk to you, you realize I'm making trails on the Dr. Lampy pasture.
Yeah.
And last year I came in and
That one's not very,
okay.
it needs help.
All right. So last year I came in and you allowed me to put a small section of trail on the very southern edge of the athletic field lands. It's several hundred feet away from where the ball fields and athletic fields, the playing fields actually end. So it's down by the stream. And there's a stream crossing. It basically dries up in the summertime, and it's an intermittent stream, but still, I want to put some stepping stones in. People right now can step over it, but of course the edges are getting all muddy and it gets slippery. And so I'm looking to do this notification trail permit just to put stepping stones in, which we actually have placed them. The before and after pictures are on the top there.
So we do send this into the Wetlands Bureau for approval?
Yes, yeah.
See that?
So on that form, let's see, stepping stones. So looking at the form, I have a rough draft here.
What's that, 2 pictures there?
This is before. and this is after what, correct me if I'm wrong, before is what it looks like now, and after is what you want it to look like?
Right, well, that's, you know, basically.
Did you put the rocks in there just to see
Yeah,
what it looked
but
like?
it's okay to do that as long as it's not a prime wetland, it's on the thing here. This is more of a notification.
Yep.
Mark West, wetland scientist, went out and looked at any places that were wet or at all wet on any of the proposed trails, and he did flag this one, and he did consult with me a bit on making up this, you know, and filling this out. So it has been, and there's a wetland report for the trails filed with the Conservation Commission. So there is that's been covered by one. Also, you'll notice that in the, I'm kind of jumping around here a little bit, but on 5, on the 2 page.
Page 5?
No, number 5, second page. On the second page there.
Yeah.
There's,
I authorize the
5C.
municipal.
Yeah, right, 5C, it talks about having the Natural Heritage Bureau data check.
Please note.
I did that.
So, at 6:58, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, so that's on there, that picture, the one with a little flower picture on it, the form underneath the,
Here.
the application is their clearance, I guess I could call it. They have okayed that, I've sent a map into them, and they said they're fine. There's no particular sensitive area there.
Okay.
And the numbers for that form is listed under 5C on the second page of the application. The second paper. See 5C there, and I put those numbers in. And that's on file, and the Wetlands Bureau gets that file.
5C. Oh, okay. The national.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going back, referencing this.
Right, to that.
Okay.
So they wanted that number in there. So what I need from you, because you are, you know, technically as representatives of the town, you are the owners. So as you look at number 3, okay, and I was looking this over, I was talking to Sharon DeLuca today, and then we went back and forth, and so this is something you would need to, right, that they would
There's
need
no
to-
liability on these trails, right?
No, okay. That-
Because we're putting, if you're putting stone, I'm just asking because
Right.
I don't know. So if we were to maintain a trail and put stone down, there's no liability to the town if somebody was to slip on those rocks. 'Cause
No.
we put them there.
Right, because, well, there's state statutes on, I can't think of the word. but
Hiking trails?
It takes away any liability
Liability.
from
Okay.
private or public owners of land, plus these were put in
So the
to,
people are hiking at their own risk.
well, right, anywhere they go, right, even the park does that. Also, it's done with best management practices, that's one of the checklists under 6. So on number 3 on the front, it says property owners, and we put in the address of the playing fields, I was told is 611, if you look at number 3 on the front, the very front.
Number 3 on the very front.
Yeah, this is the address of the actual athletic fields, because this is on the edge of the athletic fields. So I think we left the names blank, or do we put not Town of Northwood? I have a rough draft here.
I have Town of Northwood in mind.
Okay,
It looks like it was either written in after or before, because they're 2 different pen colors.
okay. Because we felt, I was wondering whether that needed to be you, or you needed to initial it, or just Town of Northwood is,
It just needs to be Town of Northwood, and then
Okay.
any motion that
Sign
you
the owner.
make would just be authorizing DJ to sign on behalf of the Town of Northwood.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve, allow the chairman of the Board of Selectmen to approve the Wetlands Trail notification application to the Water Division of the Wetlands Bureau. That was presented this evening.
Do you have any questions where it came in a little bit late on this? And we can visit the last in a bit.
I only got the very part at the end. So
Okay,
I happened at the very beginning.
What they're doing is it looked like this before, and they're just notifying DES that they put these rocks in here.
Okay.
Because they have to. Is that pretty much
right,
right?
and we followed their guidelines, the best management guidelines, and
Are you all set?
Yep.
All right,
Thank
any
you.
more discussion?
Nope.
I'm gonna call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Okay.
Good.
Are you, okay, if you look at number 6.
Yep.
These are all the things that I have done or I swear I shall do. And so I should initial those or should you initial those? Notice there's a whole bunch of little initials and all of those have.
What's it say?
Okay,
is it
so
the
the
owner?
first one,
This one says the property
Property.
owner or applicant's initials or signature, so it could be either one of us. It says or applicants, because you're the applicant.
yeah,
Are you
right.
doing it
Are
as
we,
the-
are we the applicant?
No, we need
She's
the
the
applicant because she's the one that placed the, where
So
the
I
Conservation
think-
Commission placed the stones.
Yeah.
So why don't we just have, let her.
We'll have her
We'll have
initial.
her initial.
Yeah,
it,
and I'm
where it
having the
says either one.
Conservation Commission look over this to make sure.
So you're
doubly
gonna
sure
have
it's
them
complete.
do it and then bring it back to us?
They're gonna make sure this is complete, so would you rather do it that way?
I would rather have the completed document before well, he's signing it, but I think that we should have the finalized document before we sign off on it.
Okay, and everything attached and everything?
please.
Okay, that might not happen tonight, because I've got to type up, there's the abutter, they want the abutters, and one of the abutters is the Miles people to
Okay.
the east of the property, and that's way, way.
Yeah, I
back.
think for protocol, it's best to have all your ducks in a row
Okay.
before you sign off on it.
Okay, so if I give that,
But
I can come in and sign it anytime.
We're
If
fine
you-
with approving it.
okay,
Yeah, if you just bring it in and just have Kate send me a text, I can come in and sign it any day in the afternoon.
Because he's got approval to sign it once it's completed.
okay, and if I leave everything, I'm leaving on Friday for a couple of weeks, so if I leave everything in all the forms, will somebody stuff it in an envelope and put it in the mail?
Absolutely.
Okay.
can
if
do
you
that.
did- Yeah, this is after I sign it, whatever needs to be done, I'm sure Kate can handle it.
Okay, all right. The only other thing, okay, and the conservation will cover this because it's their trails, there's a notification fee of $25. I'll let you know that, but that's our trails and they should cover it.
Yep.
Okay, so but that'll be in there, that check will be.
All right.
Okay,
Anything else?
I think that's it, believe it or not.
Do you need this back?
Yes,
It's just a
yeah,
sign off on it.
yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
time.
Before we continue, I'm gonna ask Ms. Bedro if she has any questions on any of the previous stuff that she signed, so we can catch her up and then we'll move on.
There was one spot that, it said sign here, but there was no one signature.
Which one was it? Maybe we missed it.
It was,
We might have both missed it.
it was
Was it
someone's time
someone's-
card.
Someone's time card?
Yeah.
Oh, that was, no, the employee didn't sign the time
So
card.
so the sign here is for someone else?
Correct.
Okay.
Perfect. That was my question.
Anything else?
So where are we right now on the agenda?
We skipped the
You want a
transfers.
briefer on what we decided to do with
The ditching?
yeah.
Okay, so the ditching bids, there was two bids. One was, these numbers, one was 58,500 and
124.
one was 124,000. So
says
Scott
it's-
felt, and I felt that, because there was such a discrepancy that
Yeah.
we wanted to at
a
least
little
get
more
some information and some
More details.
feedback from
Okay.
Charlie and possibly the highway committee if they're willing to give it.
Because there was 0 bids last time, so now we have 2.
Well, we didn't put it out to bid last time. This is the first time we put the ditching out to bid. Huh? No, we had discussed if we had had any, but we,
That-
deadline.
There were no
yet.
bids, okay.
It wasn't a deadline yet.
Okay.
Last meeting, we had asked if there was any bids for ditching, and there wasn't, but it wasn't past the deadline, so she thought that this was
Okay.
the second time we
Okay,
put it out to
all
bid.
right. Okay.
Right, am I
Yep,
right by
yep,
that?
yep.
Do you want to continue on with the last two signature items?
And then we'll go back to that,
then
yep, that's
go
fine.
back?
Perfect.
Yep, that's fine.
I did rush, I promise. I left the middle of the concert.
That's all right, it's not a big deal. The only thing we skipped was the transfer station gate, but you had already,
Yes,
we've had the
yep.
discussion on that,
Yep.
but we didn't want to make the final vote until
Okay,
we're here.
yeah,
That's
that's
really
fine.
the only
Thank
thing we
you.
missed, we skipped. In the minutes, because Scott wasn't here, but that's not a big
Okay.
deal.
I'll make well, actually I got a question because you might want to change this letter slightly. He's not like,
Doesn't indicate that he's resigning it, it almost sounds like he's
he
regretting
get-
it, we
he's
accept.
back on the school board.
He got appointed to the school board, so now he's resigning from the budget committee.
Yeah, because you can't be in both.
Right.
So the way this letter, it's just saying we understand how rewarding and challenging it can be a member of a volunteer board. And he's not really resigning because he's being challenged, he's resigning because it's incompatible functions.
Right.
So I just question the way the letter is.
Okay, I can reword. It's the standard.
Are you asking him to resign or?
No.
No,
He
he,
has to.
I know he has
submitted
to.
No,
well, if
he
you're on the
submitted a
school
letter.
board, like they have a rep,
Right, yeah. And they
so
already
if
have a
he's actually
representative.
back on the school board, he can't be on the budget committee. It's like
Unless
the
he goes
select
as the
building,
budget,
it's
right.
conflict.
Yeah.
So, it's the standard letter that's typically sent out to people that
Well,
have resigned.
I'm not saying.
So I can reword it.
Yeah.
I'm not
But you might
saying-
want to still accept his resignation tonight.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
And I'll
Okay.
redo the letter.
So, I'll make a motion to, accept, David Drew's, resignation from the, budget committee, because he was appointed to the school board.
I second that.
Any more discussion? See none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And
I-
she's gonna fix the
Yep.
letter.
Yeah, that's fine. My question is do we have to put something in the paper for looking for a budget committee member, or are we just gonna wait to vote it?
They're allowed to appoint their own people,
Okay, I
so,
wasn't sure how they work
so
that.
sometimes they like to put out, you might wanna.
Can we just come back in and sign a new letter? We don't have to redo
Yeah,
another
you don't-
motion?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine.
What were you gonna say? You might wanna what?
We might wanna reach out to, the chairman of the budget committee and inform the chairperson that, she has a vacancy.
I'm sure she knows, but yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Past due dogs.
You check to see if you're on there.
Seen them on here. It's happened before. Oh, Poudreau. You got that?
Oh,
Just
my
a
dog's
different one.
registered.
Can I look at that for a minute? I'll make sure I'm not on there. I'm pretty sure I did my dog, but never know. I'll pay attention sometimes. Oh, you can make a motion.
Oh, I was waiting.
Go ahead, I'm good. I'm not on it.
I know I gotta read.
Make sure you're not on it.
No, no, I'm not on it because I
Needs the
got my
wording.
dog there. I need the read. I'll make a motion to, approve the warrant for the unlicensed dogs, Northwood Town Clerk, pursuant to RSA 466, colon 14.
I second that.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye. Is it just one signature spot?
Yes, correct.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Back to the transfer station gate.
Okay.
We had received the quote from Superior Fence a few weeks ago for $15,538. We received only one quote for electric in the amount of $1,800. I did put it out there to 4 different companies, none of which responded to me. So the electric is $1,800 quoted. In speaking with Obi, we had discussed overhead utilities compared to underground utilities, and he does not recommend overhead utilities in that area. He anticipates that
Because of the trucks?
because of the trucks, but also he thinks in that area it would be more cost prohibitive with overhead utilities
going
to
underground.
place a pole.
Yep. So is this bid that he gave us is for underground, the underground?
It is for the electric work, however, it does not include,
Isn't that
Digging a
public
ditch?
service that does that, or?
it's all paved there. We would need to cut the pavement,
So,
run the underground utilities, and then repave.
or patch.
Or, yeah, pouch.
Can our highway department cut the pavement and dig that ditch with the machine that
I
they
can
have?
ask Charlie. Charlie was out today, and he'll be out tomorrow, so I will not be able to get a question, get that question answered.
I don't know why he couldn't.
Well, you just take the backhoe and,
Well, you gotta cut this, I don't see why you can't,
Well,
is what I'm saying,
we bought that new piece of equipment. we
to
might
use
as
it.
might as well use
It's
it.
just cutting, all you're doing is
Because
cutting a
there's
straight
nothing,
path.
actually, there's no electrical stuff under there because it's gonna all be new.
Right.
So there's no damage or.
All he's gonna do is cut this strip, pull out that strip of tar, drop the line and drop, well, Obi's
Do
come in,
we,
drop the line and he fills in the
Do
ditch.
we
and
have
puts the
something that
tar.
will cut pavement? Do we have the equipment to do that?
We could rent it.
It must be a saw you can rent for sure.
Yeah, you rent it from Taylor Rental.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't, we might have something.
So you cut a strip down there, and whatever the electrician says to, and then we'll just.
Well, it's gonna have to be as wide as the bucket to make it so it's a clean cut.
Yeah,
It's gonna have to be as wide as the
well, maybe a
backhoe
little,
bucket.
little wide.
Just to give it some room to make it look decent instead of breaking up the sides.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming he's gonna have to rent, and I guess the rental, if we have to rent it, well, he can take that out of the transfer station expendable fund because it's for that, correct? Or would we have to use it out of his budget? Because that, he might.
Is it a shared one?
I
Like 50/50
think-
because it goes for
It's
both?
not gonna be that much to rent one of those
I
machines
think-
anyways, if we
But
have to
I
rent
think,
one.
if I'm, the trend,
Because it's actually a transfer station gate. So the work is being done there is transfer
I
station
don't-
related.
I
I don't think it's gonna be an amount that's gonna be
I
worried.
would just say, should we check, I just say check the warrant because we're buying a gate. I guess, yeah, it's for installation, so I guess that's okay. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
It's all part of the project cost,
Yeah, so, if you wanna make a motion.
I'll make a motion to, well, first off,
Well, I should see how much it's gonna cost to pave that little area too, though.
You can
well, no,
coal
you're just
patch
gonna
it.
pave, you just coal put.
Can Charlie do that?
Why not?
Absolutely, we get coal patch. We got
Well,
all
is
kinds
that
of
gonna
coal
change our decision with the electrical and the fencing company
patch. No,
at this
because
point?
the price is all the same.
Well, no, this is the price for underground.
Right, and this is the fencing price ain't gonna change. The only thing.
The fence price is the same. The only thing that's gonna change is.
The price is underground.
Taylor Rental.
This is, the only thing that's gonna change is.
Well,
how
yeah,
much-
that's what I'm saying, that's why I'm saying we should just go ahead and.
Yeah, how much, it's not gonna rent, it's the rental of that machine,
It's gonna
maybe
be-
$200 at the most. It's not that expensive, at the most. I don't even think it's that. $1, $100?
Bring it in back the
100?
same
All you
day.
gotta do is run like a chainsaw type saw and cut it.
Yeah, it's not,
Right, it's not
nothing,
like a
concrete
huge-
saw, basically. Concrete saw. So go ahead.
I'm good, I'll make a motion to, approve the, award the contract to Superior Fence. They're gonna put in a 60 by 30 aluminum sliding gate for the transfer station expendable trust, it'll be paid out of transfer station expendable trust fund in the amount of $15,538.
I second that.
I just have a little bit of discussion, I just wanna touch on this, me and Kate have
Well, you
kind
gotta
of.
put the electric in too.
I know, but me and Kate had kind of talked to this. I just want to make sure if we're taking this out of the transfer station expendable trust fund, we need to make sure the 7-day timer that this fence comes with is set to the transfer station hours, not the highway department hours.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to make that clear and in the
Yeah.
minutes that it's being used, the highway department will be getting clickers to use it so they can get in and out easily, but as far as it staying open and shutting
It should
on
be
its own,
transfer
it's
station.
transfer station hours. That's all. I just want to make that point clear. After, any more?
How many clickers were there?
I'm gonna get 6.
6 clickers,
But-
right.
and that's my next thing.
Can we get more?
Yes, but that was my next thing, and I actually said something to Kate that's why I asked earlier. I don't know, we weren't in the meeting and you weren't here. For a price for new key fobs.
So-
It doesn't have to be today, we don't need those. But my opinion is that Charlie should take it out of his budget to get
For his-
himself
His own clickers.
key fobs for his plow drivers. He'll get 2 of the original
I
6.
I agree.
He'll get 2 of the original 6.
I agree.
But, and then we need to create some sort of policy where they need to return it at the end of the season
Yes.
to either the town hall or Charlie or something. But that's obviously whether or not Charlie wants to spend that money out of his budget, that's his decision.
Well, the other choice is a keypad too. They can get out of the car.
Yeah, it's one of the
So
other.
it's-
And
Be
then,
assigned a code
Yep.
at the beginning
I
of the
mean,
season.
he can.
I mean, can
he
you reach
give
out-
us his comments, but if we wanna spend the money out of there, cause
yeah,
it's for his
can you,
drivers, it's.
can you reach out to the chief of police and the chief of the fire department and see if they'd rather have a clicker or a keypad, a
I
code?
would've
Because
think
my
that
question
Fire
with the,
might be quicker to have.
well, the problem with the police department might want code because they got so many cars.
Yes, you would need, yeah.
Because like right now, for instance, if there's a fire when we're closed, they got to get out and open the gate anyways. The fire department, you're right. There's basically only one engine,
Yeah.
but there's also the ambulance. They're probably going to need both either way.
But if
one or
they're-
the other.
If they're not
But
totally
it's
expensive,
something
maybe
that
they could.
give them the option of, obviously they can have a clicker, or do they just want everybody, their department to have a code?
Or buy additional clickers.
Or buy, yeah, they can buy additional clickers too if they want, for their, out of their budget, obviously. Any more discussion on this? All right, I'm gonna call for the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Oh, sorry, I took it from you before you signed.
Sorry.
Okay.
And now I'll make a motion for the electrical, the electric for the transfer station gate in the amount of $1,800 to OB Electric.
This is also coming out of the transfer station expendable trust fund.
I'll second that.
My only comment on this is, can we try to schedule that they're there at the same time? And
Yeah,
then,
actually, Obi and the gentleman from Superior Fence have already kind of talked a little bit.
and then my last comment is when it's finished, I'd also like to be a part of the training on how to use it, along with you.
He wants to cut the ribbon.
I don't want to cut the ribbon, but it's always good to have
No,
more than
definitely,
as many
yes.
people know how to possibly use it, is because you never know what could possibly happen. I don't want to cut the ribbon, but
Come on.
no. That's it. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I just want to make sure it gets done right and gets used
you
properly.
go.
And gets used properly. That's my only concern. Anything else?
Nope.
But this is all pending though, this
Alright.
is pending the groundwork as well, so.
That shouldn't be any good. All right, so now we're going to do painting bids. You weren't here earlier. I'm going to recuse myself, and I'm going to allow Scott to run this portion of the meeting. And I did ask Steve Bailey today, and he basically said we could go with the lowest bidder. Obviously, it's only $7,000 that's appropriated for this project anyways, correct?
Yes.
So what if the lowest bidder is below that? He said you can go ahead and award it to the lowest bidder, because that's what they would do anyways.
Okay.
Stepping away.
Donald Hodgson Senior Painting. Are they painting two things, or do you just put two in here?
It's the exterior of the town hall, correct?
Correct. Just this, the older portion. The rest of the building
So his
sided.
bid is spot prime where there's bare wood, chalk where needed, nail and loose clapboards, paint 2 coats, finish with Pro-Mar paint, which is paint and primer mixed. Cost is $6,600. He's requesting a payment of $2,200 for material. And then after it's scraped, primed, and first coat, another $2,200, and then a final payment of $2,200 when the job is complete.
So just payments in thirds.
This one doesn't want to open.
Okay, now I got one from F.A. Gray Inc. Exterior painting on the town hall and attached town hall addition. Well, his bid is, the original town hall, $17,735, and the new town hall addition, $3,160, for a total price of $20,895.
For paint? 20,000?
It's gonna be really nice paint.
It's gonna be shot.
So yeah, I guess he's gonna vinyl side town hall. Wow. Maybe because it's a historic building, he's got historic paint.
Yeah, Sherwin Williams.
Is this the last one?
No, we have 2 more.
Whoa.
Came with prizes.
Look at, we got
A magnet?
CertaPro, no, it's a card. CertaPro. Boom, 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 dates, boom, 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 boom. So he did, prepared for the town of Northwood Town Hall painting. His, total price is $6,921. So he says hand scraped the entire building, no pressure washing, re-nail and caulk oil, clapboards as needed. Primer coat shall be applied to the building prior to painting. Apply 2 coats of superior quality exterior acrylic latex paint to clapboards and trim. All siding, all external doors.
They're all pretty much the same. Scraping and
That's
painting.
pretty.
One more?
One more.
And then we got Hodgkins painting and maintenance.
They're the ones that are doing the lawns?
Yes.
Okay.
Hodgkins Painting and Maintenance will provide the above service for the sum of $11,800.
11.8.
So, what was the lowest bid?
First one?
The first one?
By like $300. It was still 2 coats, scraping, fixing any repairs.
And he did meet me, and we did walk around the building. He was,
So he wants payment, prepayment before he starts.
In thirds.
Thirds.
right.
With the other ones, we don't have to do any prepayment, right?
Right.
What's your pleasure?
He's local, right?
Pittsfield.
Does how many buildings has he painted? Like, what's his references?
It is what he does, and when I was speaking with him, he does some painting for Co Brown.
I'm okay with prepaying for the materials. I kind of usually pay the rest after the job's completed.
I understand that.
So
maybe do the third down. And then
I'd
the
give him a
2/3
third
at the
down,
end.
and then I'd pay him the 2 if he's comfortable with that.
Okay.
But I can understand maybe fronting them for the materials, but I'd rather see the project after pay for the materials up front. I'd rather see the project completed before I make
agree,
any other payment. If he's comfortable with that, I'm okay with awarding the bid to him.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to award the bid to Donald L. Hodgson Senior Painting in the amount of $6,600 with the understanding that we'll pay $2,200 for the materials, but we will not, the remainder of the project will be paid upon completion.
Okay.
That's the only
The caveat.
difference, the caveat.
Yeah, I second that.
Can I just suggest one thing? Can you make a second motion that if he doesn't accept to go with the second lowest bidder, just so we don't have to come back here?
Yeah,
Not that I have no idea, I'm just.
But no, that's a good idea. That
yeah,
way-
okay, so, I'd like to
So our second
stick with my
choice?
original amendment, but my second choice would be the next lowest bidder. They have,
That was,
Robert.
I think, CertaPro.
Yeah, the CertaPro.
Just so you don't have to come back.
No.
Yep, I second that.
Yeah.
Okay, so all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries 2-0 with 1 abstention.
Do you have that in your minutes? Okay now.
And the abstention was from Donald Hodgson.
All right, what do we got, Kate? What's next? Town administrator report, or do you got anything else? We got some other miscellaneous.
Might be it. And I might be ready for town admin report. Oh, minutes.
Oh,
Never did
okay.
minutes.
I have to abstain.
Would you want me to make the motion, or would you like to? Okay, I'll make the motion to accept the May 22nd minutes as read.
I second that.
Just for the record, Scott's abstaining because he was not present at that meeting, so I'll call for the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0 with one abstention.
Okay. Dolores started downstairs in the town clerk's office.
How's she doing?
Good. Until she
Good.
found out herself.
She did. She worked a week down there, and it was a good week.
Yeah.
Over Memorial Day weekend, she fell and she broke her ankle in 4 different spots.
Oh my gosh.
So she is out currently.
She fell downstairs.
Yes. Yep. She just stepped wrong and fell down the stairs and broke her
Here
ankle.
or home? Or?
No, at home.
Oh, at home?
Yes, at home,
Okay,
not
all
here.
Oh, I said here,
I
and
thought
you
you
said
said here,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay, so for the record,
Yes,
it
it
was
is
not
downstairs down there.
Oh, did you think it was here? I didn't know. This is who you hear, okay, I just want to make sure, so it was at home,
Right,
okay.
it was at home.
They're different
worries,
places though. Oh my goodness.
So she was going to the doctor's today. I did not get a report back from her this afternoon. Savannah had spoke with her this past Monday, actually yesterday. It looks like she'll be out for approximately 6 weeks.
So
Poor
this,
thing.
this is gonna put us,
So,
Does Judy want to
Really?
be done by July?
this is really
1st?
gonna push us right to when Judy's leaving, basically.
right,
So we're almost like we're starting training her without Judy in kind of a way.
right.
Gonna have to
She
make
looks
it work.
super happy about it right now.
We're gonna have to make it work. If Judy doesn't
Yeah.
wanna stay past
Yeah, I
that,
mean,
we don't really
right.
have a choice. They're
I
gonna
mean,
have to make it
it's
work.
certainly a challenge, but Savannah does have a vacation at the end of July, which she cannot reschedule, nor does she really want to.
Well, yeah, but she,
After.
She would like to ask if Judy can cover for that week.
that's if Judy wants to come.
Right.
But then we'd have to drop another contract just
No,
for that
you
week.
wouldn't.
We wouldn't?
No.
Okay, we could just kinda do
Why
like a,
wouldn't we
You could just
amend the current?
amend the
to the end of that month,
contract.
to the end of the month.
Right.
And then she doesn't have to work the 2 weeks in between,
Right.
obviously. Okay, I guess the only thing we can do is reach out to Judy and see if she's willing to do it.
Right.
And go from there.
Is that gonna affect her training? Like,
I mean,
I mean, don't they have to have a certain amount of training with
they
the-
need to shadow for 4 weeks, and then before they can go and get their certifications. So
that's
certainly it interferes with the
Yeah.
shadowing process, but they do hold the trainings fairly regularly.
So my question
So
is Savannah going on vacation, is she gonna be able to have somebody fill in for that? We're just gonna have Judy fill in?
That's what
She's gonna
hoping to
ask-
I was
have
hoping for Judy.
She's going to ask Judy if Judy would be
can't,
willing.
then we don't know what.
And then it could be Judy and Dee here for that week.
Right. 'cause she
So
should be back by
there would still be office coverage. So, but that is, I mean, Dee might recover rather quickly, and
Does she have to have
and
surgery?
come back.
Did they tell her? or-
she already had surgery over Memorial Day weekend.
They did it right away.
Right. They did it right away.
Her foot probably looks like an erectus. Usually that's what they look like when they're done.
But she's already going a little stir crazy,
Of
so
course she is. If we
she would
could
like to be back as soon
proper
as she
Plus
Very
being,
trained.
plus being a sit-down job, it might be quicker. They might let her go back to work quicker, where she's not
Right,
doing
right.
a lot of I get.
Right. Well,
I
not
don't want to say
climbing
she's not
ladders and
doing
stuff.
manual
Right,
labor,
yeah.
but hard manual labor.
So I'll keep you updated.
Thank you.
as
Send her our
more
wishes.
information.
Poor thing.
Absolutely. I've received no applicants for the part-time seasonal laborer position.
Do we null and void that, or just leave it out there and see what happens?
I can continue to leave it out there. I sent it to Co-Brown with no response. Charlie does know someone who is 17 that is interested in the position. We had the job ad as 18, so they could use the
Yeah, we
chainsaw.
can't
Can't do that.
I don't
We
want,
could eliminate the Chainsaw?
I don't want anybody here on the 18th.
Okay.
We had a little incident, especially if they're doing work in, it's not even being a lifeguard, it's working with the truck, down, I don't
Okay.
comfortable with somebody on the 18th.
Fine. I just, Charlie had mentioned it, so I figured I would ask. And
Well, let me ask this question, I guess. What's our insurance company say?
Given the work, as long as we're not having the individual use a chainsaw, they are fine with a 17-year-old.
Yeah, but isn't that one of the main things that they want them to do?
Not necessarily. I mean, they.
Yeah, I think I don't want to stay with the 18-year-old.
Okay.
Okay. I have kind of a little bit of a comment on that. Me and Kate had had a talk. They have budgeted that seasonal job for like $11,000 a year,
Yeah.
and they're only using
Only
about.
for 2 months, isn't it?
Well, this is where I'm going.
Does some of that go to pay for winter maintenance?
No.
For shovelers, maybe?
This is where I'm going. This is where I was going. If it, it's right now it's a summer seasonal.
Yeah.
My
Why do you budget for 11.9 for some?
I have no idea, but this is my idea, and it can get shot down. It doesn't have to be decided on today. But if you were to create that as a seasonal, not a full time job,
You mean
but
a
a full
part-
season.
You mean a part-time?
part-
Basically like an on-call person. But you'd have to stay under your $11,000 budget. So in other words, you set him a budget of the 11, whatever it is.
So in the
Whatever it
summer,
is.
it might be 40 hours a week in the summer, but maybe in the winter, it could be 10 hours a
Correct,
week,
and you can
whatever.
have that person plow after a storm's over. He could be the
Like
one
the
to go
cleanup
plow
or moving the big
Why would we budget $11,000?
That's what it is, right? It was something like 11 something, and they only used about $4,000.
We did look.
Is that because we were talking about maybe? I don't think that was for one person. Then.
That I would have to ask Sandy regarding. Sandy
But it's just a
budgets
thought.
for the payroll items.
We have
so
all these.
I can double check with her to see what else might be included in that line.
I just don't think we budget.
I know that it was when DJ and I looked, it had been under expended last year.
I
So
think that was intention to pay for some other stuff.
I'm not saying that we have to do it. It's just it popped up that they've
I
budgeted
think we
a
need a
lot,
little more information.
but I think it's something that we may want to
Yeah,
consider.
definitely.
If they're going to budget that kind of money, we might as well at least use it.
I thought we had. Well, I'm gonna.
Oh no, I mean like.
We used to have a call guy on all year.
That's what I'm thinking.
And
That's what I'm going towards.
I'm wondering if that's the budget and he just never changed it.
But
That's
I
question.
guess my question is, if that's the budget and he's never changed it, is that something you would consider reconsidering? Because I think it might be a benefit for the town if you have your summer seasonal help now, whether it's an 18-year-old or 21-year-old, whatever it is, and then in the winter you have these driveways to plow after days that the other guys have been out plowing all night, that they could go up and plow the rec fields, or they
Or even
could
clean
shovel
up,
the snow,
when
or
the snowbanks are so high, like-
or clean up clean up the parking ride, shovel this and that. It's just a thought.
Keep in mind that the summer help, like if they hire somebody, they have to have a commercial truck driving license.
Not to drive the 1 ton, they only need a medical card. That's it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
But
saying.
you wouldn't
if
want a
you-
student then.
You don't want.
No, but
somebody-
I'm not. If you
I'm
more
just
than
saying,
likely, if you
want
put it
somebody
out,
that knows what they're doing.
right? More than
Well,
I'm not. I agree, but more than likely, if you were to go to this
Yeah.
scenario, it's not going to be a student because they're in school during the winter. It's going to be more than like just. That doesn't say it's not going to be, but more than likely, it's going to be a retired person that's just looking for
Or as long
an
as
extra cash
money.
flow.
Yeah,
It's just a thought. It's a thought.
I think we should look into it and see what the budget line is.
yeah, we can look into it. I mean, the town does have a need for just some general maintenance items.
We don't have like a
We don't have
maintenance
anybody
fix-it
to
person.
do.
I mean,
sort
for
of
We
instance-
don't have a
general
handyman. We need a handyman.
Like for instance the
Steve Bale.
yeah, but
He's a volunteer.
he just had a heart attack 2 days ago.
Did he?
Yeah, or 3 days ago, whatever it was. Monday or something like
last
that.
Thursday.
But to the point of a
He was in
handyman,
yesterday.
we
and
got
today.
the email of the weed whacking around the container. It's something so minute. That'd be a perfect job to say, hey, you know what? You're on call. Go weed whack the container, so we don't have to. We don't have to worry about a volunteer doing it. Done.
Right.
Or hey, you know what? The parking ride's looking a little weedy. Go down and weed whack that, or the whatever.
Right.
But it's just a thought. It's something that, we already have the summer 3 hours, 3 months, so you're only really,
No, yeah.
something
I
we
mean, if
can,
you look into it, maybe even if it's like 5 hours a week, you know,
10 hours a
I'm sure
week.
there's something that can be done. There's enough buildings that need a little bit of maintenance, a little bit of help.
Right.
like the league coordinator, it's like 10 hours a week,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
year round, although we don't do sports kind of year round. It's like some
Right.
in the summer it's busier, and it
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
it's
makes up for
basketball
it.
like this certain times.
It makes up for it.
Yeah. So definitely look into the dollar figure on that.
Okay, I can do that. I have 3 applicants for the municipal secretary position. I have 2 interviews scheduled for this coming Friday. With 2 of the individuals, the 3rd candidate just received the resume yesterday, so I'll also schedule that
And they can't get hurt.
individual. Right.
Are you gonna try to have your recommendation by the next meeting? Is that your
I
goal?
would like to.
Okay, I'd like to too, so that way we can get that position. Well, obviously, I'd like to try to get it filled before Dee gets back, because it's gonna take that long to get unless Scott pulls a few strings to get the background check done.
The dump stickers are in. They can be picked up at the town clerk's office. We have some upstairs at
Maybe
the
you can
town
put that on
hall
the website.
Just gonna go there.
and the transfer station. It actually is on the website.
And maybe have them put it on their
homepage.
sign down there, possibly?
Okay.
And could you just have Joe keep you updated? I'll go in there on a Sunday if he feels he wants some help, but if he thinks he's having a good grasp on it and he's okay, I don't want to step on his toes at all. But if he's feeling like he's overwhelmed and he'd like an extra hand helping him out on a Sunday, I'm more than willing to do it.
Thank you.
But I definitely don't want to step on his toes. If he wants to do it if he feels he can do it on his own, I'll let him.
He may appreciate that.
I'm more than willing to do it on a Sunday.
This first Saturday that they had with the new transfer station stickers was perhaps a little overwhelming.
I think, well, we have to relay the message. Me and you had this discussion earlier that they got 6 months to give him out. If he's overly busy, I don't expect him
Yeah.
to give him out to every car. He's got to use his judgment. If it's too busy to give him out, those people are going to
Don't
have
stress
to.
over
Yeah, he's
blue
got
sticker
6
versus
months.
the yellow sticker.
He's got 6 months to get him out. It's not like we're expecting to have him done by tomorrow.
Right. At our last meeting, we had talked about having a joint meeting of the boards. I did mention this to Primex, and it is something that they can facilitate for us. My question is, when would we possibly want to do this? I imagine that many of the volunteers that are on the boards and committees work, so I think in perhaps a
You have
weeknight
to do an
evening
evening. Yeah, evening.
I
would
think-
be better.
I think it'd be nice to try to get it done before budget season too, where if those committees have some budget issues they want to bring up that may cross
Right.
paths in different committees, that'd be a great time to do it right before budget season so we can attack whatever we need to attack.
So potentially maybe August, and I could look at the calendar and find a free evening in August that we could host this.
Try to make it work for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna work for everybody, but if
Get a
at least
majority?
members of each committee can come, I think it would be a good,
Or at least a chair for each committee would be nice.
that would be nice. So I'll
Thank you.
look into August. And then we also had mentioned a volunteer appreciation day,
Yes, we
perhaps
wanted
on
to
a
wait.
weekend.
We wanted to wait because we weren't sure what your availability
We
was.
figured
Scott.
you'd be barbecuing, Scott.
I'll actually don't mind cooking. I don't have a problem cooking.
Just don't do it on the reggae sailing race.
Okay. When's that?
It's usually a Saturday, like the second or third Saturday.
So I think if we're gonna do it, we need to either do it a couple weeks before Bean Hole Bash or a couple weeks after. You don't want to do 2 events back to back. That's just my opinion.
You want to do something in late August?
Well, yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, if
I do have.
I'd like to be after
I do have a meet. I
2
do
o'clock.
have one of my meetings in August that I have to go out of state. I believe it's. I I was trying to look on the calendar here.
What about if we do
Saturday
the
afternoon or a
second?
Sunday afternoon?
It'd be like a Saturday, or, well, I think
As long as
Saturday.
that's on
Saturday
the
or
weekend.
Sunday.
Saturday, I think, would be better than Sunday. That's just my opinion, because everybody kind of likes their Sunday. So that, as long as it's like Saturday at 2, I don't mind cooking at all. But we just got to figure out what we're gonna do for who's bringing the barbecue. I don't know if we have a town one or all that stuff. I have my
We don't have
own.
a town barbecue.
We don't have. Yeah, so I can bring my own grill. Somebody can bring a grill or whatever. We can figure that all out.
Figure it out. And if we're doing it in late August, towards the end of summer, it only gives us plenty of time to plan. Gary had mentioned perhaps having an intern come in to work with him. He did reach out to Great Bay Community College, and there is a student that is interested. Gary would recommend that the internship be paid, and hours would potentially vary depending on meetings, and also obviously the intern's schedule.
Okay.
Does the Board of Selectmen want to pursue looking into this?
I think we need to look into an intern because one, we have Gary's getting older, as he's told me many times, and two, we're getting
said
more and more meetings that at some point we may need 2 audio people because all of these boards are actually requesting video. Most of them are now, and it starts to stretch Gary way too thin.
I
So
know Gary has said before, like, to videotape like school concerts and things like that he'd like to do, you know. So.
my issue is do we have the money in the budget this year, or is this something we're going to have to budget for next year and start it in March? Because obviously,
What's the intern, what do they make?
Well, I mean, it's a college student, so I think that we would start them fairly low.
I mean, because it's a college student, they also get probably credits for
Right.
doing it.
Right, so, I mean, we can certainly discuss wages more, and, I mean, it is something that could be paid out of the cable trust fund, the position itself, rather than out of the budget.
so we could do it this year if we wanted to start now out of that, and then budget for it next year if we had to.
Yeah, I mean, I can get some more information potentially for the next meeting or the meeting after, but I wanted to give, you know,
Thank you.
get the general consensus of the board before I pursued it any further.
What do you think? I think that we need to at least think about it, because
I'm okay with discussing it.
did you figure out a date so we can give her a tentative date?
I'm going to, yeah, it's the week of the, whatever August 14th is, like right around there, that week. So I have to fly out to Arizona.
What if we do, so that would put us at,
How about the beginning
It's
of
not
August?
vacations, actually work.
so
So fun.
the Beanhole Bash is
You
the
don't wanna go to
27th and
Arizona
28th, the 28th and
August
29th,
anyways.
correct?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
So what if we
27,
do,
28.
what if we do the 11th, that, you fly out the 13th?
No, I'll fly out probably on the Monday of the
The 13th?
August. Yeah, I'll probably leave on the 13th.
So if we do it the 11th, you're okay? That gives,
Oh, the
that's,
cookout.
if we do the 11th, the cookout
cookout.
on the 11th, you'll be okay? Or would you rather do it later than that?
Let me check my schedule tomorrow at
Okay.
work and
Okay,
to make absolutely sure.
okay. That's fair, that's still got plenty of time to get to that, that's fine.
Okay. And then the fire station addition has gone out to bid. There is a pre-bid meeting Thursday at 9 a.m. This is an opportunity for contractors to see the full-size plans, ask questions, seek feedback. I have not heard from any contractors except for one to date, so I don't know who will come, but I can report back at our next meeting.
Nick, are you gonna be at that walkthrough? Okay, thank you. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Just asking, I didn't know, I wasn't saying you had to, I was just wondering.
We had them. Yep. So we've had the state fire marshal, you know, review the plans, make comments about the sprinkler system. So we'll be able to provide that information to contractors also at the pre-bid meeting.
I had someone ask, where was that posted? Was it posted in the Sun?
Yes, however, I've gotten the feeling that maybe the sun's running about a week behind
Should
of my
you,
postings.
you only posted that in the Sun?
No, I
it's not.
posted on NHMA, I've posted on the town's website.
Okay.
Construction Summary posts all of ours, all of our projects on their own. I don't submit it to them, they just pull it off of our website.
Maybe that's why
Yeah.
they haven't seen it, because they're behind.
Right, I just noticed in the last edition of the Sun was a bid that I had put out. So it had already gone by, so whether they had gotten the ads.
Right.
Do we have to?
That's not our fault,
Do
by
we
the
have
way.
to pay for those if they put them?
I'm gonna call them and ask, and look into it a little
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
but either they're a week behind on what I've been sending them, but I didn't notice till I looked at the Sun,
Right,
just this past edition. So I'm gonna follow up with that. And then the next item of business is the exhaust ventilation proposed for the fire station. I'd like to have some information to be able to give to construction contractors at Thursday's meeting, so I just kind of want, and Nick's here now, I just kind of want a general sense of the direction that the Board of Selectmen want to go in to secure a contractor for the exhaust ventilation. We had discussed putting out in separate bids. There's actually very few companies that install these types of systems.
So you're looking to just
So
go
what
to,
are the companies?
you're saying just look out to those, look into those companies and see what they bid us at? Is that what you're
Yeah,
thinking?
I mean, the system that I believe Nick was looking into was the Plymovent system. Plymovent is a nationwide company, and
Yeah,
they
but how
have
much
a
is the-
local dealer.
How much is the project for?
25,000. Yeah.
You budgeted 32,000.
So you have to go out to bid.
I'm just wondering how specific you want your bid to be, because if we go strictly Plymovent, we're probably having maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, maybe one or two bidders.
That's fine. But if you put it out to bid publicly, if you put it out to the public and you only get one or two bids, that's
It is
fine.
what it is.
It
Right.
is what it is, but at least you put it out there so people can bid on it.
Right. So my question is, do you want us to bid out a Plymovent, or do you want us to bid out just a ventilation exhaust? If you bid out a ventilation exhaust, how specific do we want to be? Because
I think,
if you bid out just ventilation exhaust, there's a number of different,
There's probably 14
Types.
different kinds, right?
some are, with hoses, some are without hoses. You might get so many bids that you're not comparing apples to apples, or you
Right.
might,
What do we want?
I think when it comes to this, I personally think we should go with what Nick would
Right.
like, and if we can get it within his budget and that's the system he wants, I would personally like to bid out that system. That's just my opinion.
What's our policies say?
our
What?
purchasing policy? I mean, our purchasing policy says, I can't recall the amount off the top of my head, but
$10,000.
$10,000 would go out to
Still
bid.
put it out to bid, but we can put out the bid that he wants.
the specs that he
specific-
needs.
He wants that specific ventilation system, so that
So
whoever's bidding on it
Isn't there
knows.
only one company that does that?
No, it sounds like there's a couple.
That I don't know of. I mean, Plymovent, when I had talked to them directly, and they have one dealer, which then the dealer directed us to a company called Clean Air. Nick was gonna meet with somebody else tomorrow. Is that for a Plymovent?
It's for direct. Hook up to the truck, we just don't want a fan in the ceiling, we want a direct.
Yeah, is there only like one or two companies that do that?
So, the company out of Belmont
Okay,
is the one that we received the quote already.
right.
So, and then, there's actually a company in town that does what we need. It's not Plymovent, but it's the same
It's the same idea.
idea.
Okay.
Direct source, it goes right to the source.
Do you know what it's called?
To
What we
my-
actually need,
yeah.
though, that way she can.
So
To
is
my
it-
knowledge,
Yeah, we can write down.
Okay, yeah.
right.
So I guess you just get with the specs and what he wants, and I'm okay with.
Yeah, I'm fine
okay
with what
that.
he wants, but we need to put it out.
Yeah,
there.
we're gonna put out
Well,
the bid,
yeah.
but we're putting it out, the specs to what he wants, so when the bid,
Yeah, that's
whoever,
fine.
the bids come in, they already know what we're.
I agree, I'm okay with putting out what he wants, I just wanna make sure it goes out to
Yeah, it's
bid.
gonna go out, that's fine.
I just wanted to make sure we weren't putting out Plymouth Vent and only one company and the
Right.
entire
Yeah.
state can do it.
Yeah,
Right.
well, you might as well not put it out to bid.
And that was my question.
If you can.
If we go a little more generic, but still specific to the type of
Yes.
system,
Yep,
Yes.
exactly, yeah, that's
probably
what,
get two.
yeah, well, at least we'll have two.
Well, nobody can come back and say you didn't put it out to bid.
Right, but this also gives us something for Thursday at the pre-bid to go in and explain that this is the type of system that we're getting. Maybe not Plymouth Vent, maybe the other.
But it's gonna be
the
roughly
other
close to the
brand.
same and not much difference, okay?
Yeah, because there will be some electric work that needs to be incorporated.
Okay.
So, okay. And that is all I have for town administrator report.
Selectmen's report, you wanna go first?
Thank you. I just wanna know what the status is on, I drove by on Sherburne Hill, and is there any progression with getting those logs out of that yard?
Boy, if we had that summer guy, that's what he could be doing.
Yeah, no, none of the logging companies have gotten back in touch with me.
I know somebody that just
The
got a
Rockwell Court-
I know somebody that just got a sawmill that would love to go up there, but the town won't allow it. What if I was there? Then would they allow it?
It's just an eyesore. It's not fair to the neighbors.
The person that has a sawmill would, we could.
We
actually
created
get
the
some wood
mess.
out
We
of
have to pick
actually,
it up.
to be honest with you.
I think we need to look into potentially some other options. Like I said, the logging companies have not been
Right.
responsive to me. Whether
How-
they go up there and they don't want it
Is
and
it
then just
because
don't
of
bother
insurance
calling
reasons?
out.
I mean,
How
is there
much-
a waiver we
Could
can?
we get a waiver for like somebody to go up there for like a week, say they wanted to use the logs and actually saw them up and use the timber? Is that something that's possible?
Yeah, I mean, I can look into it.
You can ask the insurance
Yeah,
company
right, I
what
mean-
they say, yeah. I'm fine as long as we're covered.
I know some people that can use that have the equipment to use portable sawmills that can go up there and
Or can we
actually
just,
we could
can
probably
we
get
pick
some
it up
wood out of
with
the deal.
tobacco and stick it in a dump truck and give it to someone? Give it that has the sawmill at their house.
Yeah, well,
And there's got to be a way to
either
pick up the mess. We may
Yeah,
maybe have to pick it up.
There's definitely, it's just a matter of, if we're gonna have somebody do the cutting there besides us, it's the insurance.
Right.
the
So
insurance
can we
level.
scoop it up with our backhoe or whatever it scoops up stuff and
Or
put it in
get
a
a,
dump
or
truck and
get
deliver
a,
it?
yeah, or get a waiver for a few months that somebody can be up there and with a portable sawmill and possible, if they're,
I mean,
if somebody's willing
Summer's
to do
here
that.
and kids are gonna be outside exploring, and if someone gets hurt,
Well, it's not even that, we wanna clean it up to sell it, it has nothing to do with somebody, I mean, yeah, of
someone
course we
could get
don't.
hurt. We
Of
don't-
course, I don't think there's any kids playing on that property, but I agree with you, we don't want anybody getting hurt, but it's really just to clean it up so we can try to sell it.
Yeah, I can speak with the insurance company.
Got it?
But I know that, Mr. Dodge came in and
Yeah.
I would imagine he's gonna be coming in again if we don't take any action.
Right. Right, there was a gentleman interested in purchasing the property. Sandy was on vacation last week, so wasn't able to get the information about the amount of money that is owed on the property. And
I had somebody, without mentioning names, obviously, I had somebody approach me that.
There's a few people that are interested in
would
that
we
property.
Would we be interested
How big is the
in
property?
exchanging the property for cleaning it up? I'm just saying that's,
yeah.
I mean,
Then
in
we
a
could
way,
work
in
it
a way
anyway.
that's not, in a way that
you know how
sounds
much
like,
it's gonna cost to get rid of all that wood and current that's on that property?
what the thing is, we need to get a property value of what it is now and a property value of what it would
I'm
be.
not saying
cleaned
I'm
up.
agreeing to it, I'm just telling you what somebody said to me.
I mean, I know the property was initially taken by tax deed, so now that Sandy's back in the office and, you know, done with the manifest, I'd like to get with her to find out some more details about the property itself and, you know, potentially, the board can potentially discuss putting it out for, you know,
Whatever,
sealed bid,
something, or whatever, clean it up, or then put it
for
out,
sale,
whatever.
you know. You can do it for sale as is, or and then people would get back to you
Yeah,
with
but if you
their.
sell as is,
It's not,
that's not gonna get cleaned up.
it's still
I
not.
suppose it says, oh, well, there's a new owner, so you can do it.
I know, but if the surrounding people came to us and said, clean it up,
Well, no.
Well, the individual that had been
Lives
interested
right
in the
across.
property
yeah.
that came and spoke with me was interested in cleaning it up himself.
Okay,
Do you have anything?
I have a couple of things. I'd asked about having lines painted at Bow Lake.
Yes. I did ask Charlie, and he was going to look into it. He says that they've done it before
Okay.
too,
All
so
right.
he didn't seem to have a problem with that.
Awesome. And at planning board last week, someone had came and asked questions about the cemetery, the one next to Hannaford.
Okay.
I happened to go look at it after the Memorial Day parade. I had looked at all the cemeteries and they're all nicely mowed and stuff. But the one next to Hannaford, it's knee high, so it hasn't been mowed yet.
Okay.
It's full of poison ivy.
Is that-
It's a mess.
Is
So it
that,
hasn't been touched in a long
is that
time.
the
one's
cemetery committee, or is that the long guy?
I don't know. That's why I want to know.
I thought the cemetery, is that the one that's?
It was a
on-
cemetery that, when they divided Church Street, remember?
So it's not the bigger cemetery?
No, it's the one right by Hannaford, right, they divided Church Street and the state divided the road and the town got the cemetery that used to belong to the church.
Is it
So
something we have to mow? That's the question.
It hasn't been mowed yet.
Is it something
It
that's,
is knee high,
is it
so-
something that is ours to mow? That's the question too.
Because the
Well,
butter
the
came to the meeting.
Cemeteries are not included in the municipal lawn care bid. The cemeteries are mowed
Some of the
separately, so I
cemetery
can
trustees.
speak with the cemetery
So
trustees
they're all being done
about it.
except for that one. And the landowner that is next to it said it's never done.
Oh, okay.
So
And follow
maybe
up
there's a
with the
reason
cemetery
that we're not
trustees
doing,
about
maybe
it.
there might be a reason why we're not doing it. It could be, I guess.
I guess, I don't.
Is it a town cemetery or
It's a town
church
cemetery.
cemetery?
It's
It is a
town.
town
Yeah.
cemetery?
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
Guess we'll
done.
find out.
And then, well, we have the money going into the fire department. I was wondering if anyone has looked into like an emergency management grant, like 50/50 grant. We have all that. Potentially, we have $200,000.
Okay,
But
yeah,
I know I spoke to someone who said he'd be willing to help write the grant.
okay. The emergency management?
Mhm. Rick Bilodeau?
I don't know, were any grant options looked into on this project?
Who would the grant be from?
I think what he's talking about is for, it would be for, the emergency, like Bob Young, the EMD.
Would that who are you applying for the grant with the state or?
No, we haven't.
No, if you would.
Nah, that'd be FEMA, I think.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
it's
yeah,
FEMA?
federal. But where you can do 50/50 grant.
Is that
We
through
have-
Homeland Secure? Is that through Department of Safety or?
I'm not 100%, I think it's a Homeland Security.
He said he had experience in writing grants and he'd be willing to help.
Okay. I can get in touch with him.
He said he came and tried talking to you, but
Oh.
you weren't here or, I don't know.
Somebody told me yesterday I'm hard to get a hold of.
You're always here.
I don't know how, I'm always here.
You're always here when I stop.
I don't know, so, I mean,
Okay.
he's willing to do it.
Yep. No, that sounds great, we can look
What
into
kind
it.
of grant are they looking to get a grant for though?
Like if there was a tragedy, where would be like the home-based station? Like maybe computers or, like monitors, I don't know.
So they're just looking for some computers and some monitors, or, so they're not looking to try to get a grant to like match the building or something, they're looking to get a
Well, where we
grant.
have $200,000, you can do a 50/50 grant, so you could potentially get up to $200,000.
You
Depending,
won't get-
I don't know.
You
how
can't,
many
you can't, you're not gonna get
Where's the
$200,000 for the,
$200,000 match coming from?
you're not getting the 200,000, you're not,
It's spending already.
The
yeah,
building
but you
money,
can't get a grant for something you've already started building.
Well, wait a
it
second.
hasn't started yet.
First
Well, I've
off,
already appropriated the money.
hold on.
Huh? What'd you say, Nick?
No, I'm asking, you can't, you can potentially apply for a grant, but you apply for the grant and then after, typically, you'd have to put in the grant that you want to use the match for the building in the grant. Typically, if it's a federal grant and it's 50/50, They have two types. It's in-kind, there's a soft match or in-kind where they'll take the services of people, town employees and stuff, and then this hard match where it basically says, all right, we're gonna give you $100,000, you gotta come up with 50K, and we'll give you 50K. So it's not as easy as,
I'm sure it's not, but he's offering to do it, so.
and then the question is, I'm trying to get a handle on who you're applying for, because I could find out a little bit more if you could tell me who.
I can find out.
Yeah.
Is it through the Department, when you say Homeland Security, is it the Department of Safety's Homeland Security, or is it the Federal Homeland Security, or?
You have to be federal because
Yeah, but most grants pass through the state. So for example, the state applies for a grant, and then we have to apply to the state to get the pass-through money. Because I deal with a lot of federal grants at this.
I didn't 100% know what's up, but it's more important.
Yeah, we can talk to the individual
Wouldn't hurt to look
who's
into
made the
it.
offer and see what grant he's specifically
Did you
looking
find
at.
this out, the federal domestic assistance?
I haven't looked into any grants for this project at all.
No, he had asked me, and I said I
So-
didn't know of any, and he said,
Well,
I've been doing it.
I thought when you apply for a grant, you usually apply for it before you do
Well,
all of this legwork.
typically, it depends on the grant.
So we can look, see what's
It's
available.
not gonna hurt, he's willing to
Right.
do the legwork on it.
All right, I have a couple. Now that we've now that we've awarded we haven't awarded the ditching bids actually. But we have two bids, and more than likely one of them is going to get awarded it. Can we get Charlie to get that ditching plan together probably by the next meeting? Does that seem fair to everybody? I think that's it.
I had two more things too.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were
That's okay.
done.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
Okay. One was, how does the garden club, they wanted to do some garden work on town property.
They have to come before the board, or actually, they got to go to the facilities committee, and then
They don't meet.
then the facilities committee has to recommend it
They
to the
don't meet.
board. It's usually the way it goes.
Right.
Well, wait, what do they want to do?
They wanted to, plant flowers like around the stone monuments out front of the town hall.
Why do they have to go to facility committee?
That's usually the way we do it. Because somebody's got to take care of it after it's planted, and who takes care of it is the facilities committee.
Okay. Well, no, the facilities committee don't take care, well, what do they?
They do
are
take
you
care of the
just planting
buildings.
Flowers?
Like perennials, you don't have to weed them because they mow them down the end of the year.
Still gonna have to weed them.
Perennials come back every year.
Yeah, I know. You mow them down at the end of the year. Or like in Northwood Lake, I don't know. They already have people that are volunteering to come and weed and stuff, so.
The problem with that is it, and I think it's a good idea. The problem with that is how many years are they gonna volunteer, and then, because they planted one at the police station several years ago, and it was gonna be weeded by the volunteers, and now it looks like a forest up there. So that's my only concern. I think it's a great idea though, other than that.
Do you want to have the garden club submit just a proposal of areas and what they would
can
like
ask
to
Mike to do
put,
that,
and
yeah.
then the board can take it up at their next meeting?
I don't think that's a big,
I don't,
it's flat, I mean, we're talking perennials.
Yeah.
And if worse comes to worse, I mean, if it gets unsightly after 4 or 5 years, you just dig them up.
I'm not saying it's, I'm just saying, it's normally when we start planting plants out front, generally the facilities committee likes to have some input on it.
Well, they're not shrubs though.
I understand that. I'm not saying that we have to go to facilities committee, I'm saying generally we do,
If they have a meeting tomorrow night, I'll ask.
which they probably won't,
I know,
because
but I still.
all of these committees that everybody was worried about the selectmen attending, none of them ever meet.
I go there.
I didn't
Then I
say,
leave.
I said none of them. We're there, but none of them meet. How's that?
Yes.
Okay. What else we got?
I don't know. I'm good. I'm done.
No, I had heard that the library received a grant to help sponsor the summer reading program. That's pretty exciting.
That is. It's very exciting.
And does the pavilion have to be moved up at the rec field? I had heard wind of that at the parade. Have you heard about that?
Pavilion.
Yeah, the pavilion needs to be moved because, I don't know.
Moving it now.
Did you hear about that?
You can't move it. It's
I
got-
know.
You ain't moving it
I
now.
had heard that where the cement pad is, it's diverting the water, so it's washing out the road.
News to me.
Yeah, nobody's brought it
Okay.
forth to me, so.
News to
I
me.
hadn't heard that, and then I was like, I didn't.
More than likely, somebody doesn't like to where it is.
Well, I suggest maybe putting a culvert or something. That's a lot of moving. That'd be crazy.
You ain't gonna move it, you'd have to build a new one.
You'd have to tear, right.
I mean, you ain't moving it,
So that was just town gossip?
probably, more than
Okay,
likely.
thank you.
But it's possible that there's something going on up there, but I haven't heard anything.
I mean, I know that on the
We were
plan
just
that
there, it looked
there's,
okay.
like, there is a
I haven't seen a
detention.
washout.
You know, there is a drainage sort of retention area right there, which may have collected from runoff. But I haven't gotten any comments about, you know, any sort of washing out roads or anything like that. I can take a look at the area.
It was just parents just saying that, so I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was,
Huh.
it looked okay that day we were there.
Mm.
Thank you. I'm all set now.
Okay.
Obviously, we got some non-public.
Yes. we
So, do we have any more citizens forum before we go into non-public? Come on up, Rick.
I'd like to speak with the culverts. We do not put culverts. I'd like to speak with the culverts. I noticed they were in a bid that went out. We do not put culverts under private driveways in the town of Northwood. No matter if we're doing ditching or not, that's up to the property owner. If you go into your zoning rules and look, when you file for a building permit, you're supposed to put a culvert under your driveway. It's right in the rules. We do not maintain culverts under people's driveways. And as far as this goes,
I think.
they're not
one of the
enforcing
history
it. They're not enforcing it. There's brand new houses being built in this town today, and there's no culverts under the driveway. And there's a problem with it. The rule says you're supposed to have a culvert under your driveway before you get an occupancy permit. And someone isn't issuing the people to tell them to do the culverts. I spoke to Dale about it, and he said that's not his job, it's Charlie's job.
It is, it's the road
So,
agency.
I'm not gonna get into it, but I know there's people up on Sherburne Hill Road that think we're gonna put new culverts under their driveway. And if we start, then everybody's gonna want it from this day forward. So, it's something you guys need to think about. We've never done it in the past. When we did Bow Lake Road a few years ago, there was a couple of people that bought a culvert, and when we were going by and they ditched it, they put it in for them. We did not buy culverts for private driveways. Secondly, the cemetery down by the Hannaford, I think you're gonna find that's a private cemetery. It used to belong to the farm that was there. That cemetery hasn't been mowed by the town in 20 years that I know of. Steve Bailey could give you the correct information, but I think that's what you're gonna find
Linda
out.
Smith said it did belong to the town. She was at the meeting, and the people that bought the church, to do a antique thing,
Yeah.
a business, they said it was not part of their deed.
Well, I think it belonged to the farm next door
It belonged
to
to
the
the church.
church.
It was, belonged to the church. It was where First Baptist Church Cemetery, something like that.
I don't think it belongs to the town.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is belong to the church.
She had said, she told everyone at the meeting that was the town's.
It's never been mowed by the town in the last 20 years that I know of. You can go back through your bids and it's never been in a bid. But, and then the other thing that I was gonna address was, where did I do it? I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, the bids on the ditching. Those bids are ridiculous for what we're doing for ditching. You guys need to go back and look what we spent on roads that we've done in the past few years. We've never spent that kind of money on ditching.
That's why I suggested it go to the Highway Advisory Committee.
I know, but I'm just telling you, when we've done roads in the past, when we did Lucas Pond Road, it was $7,000 to ditch that road. When we did other roads in town, we've never spent $58,000 or $120,000. I know there's two bids, but why would we get taken to the cleaners? you guys really need to look at the ditching bids and find out what's really going on.
Are they exceptionally long roads compared to like Lucas Pond? Lucas Pond's a pretty long road.
Oh, yeah, it was 0.7 of a mile, and we dished that for $7,000 when it was done, and if you go to the other roads and look back, I'm not sure of all the numbers, but go look at the roads we've done the last 3 years and see what it cost us to ditch them.
I think that's why I suggested we,
Yeah,
I realize that, but I just wanted to bring it up. Thank you.
thank you.
Any more? Seeing none, I'm gonna go into non-public under RSA 91A3, colon 2, B and C.
Yep.
Roll call, Don Huss and I.
Scott Breyer, aye.
Beth Boudreaux, aye.
We are now in non-public.
I'd like to make a motion to come out of,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to come out of non-public.
I second that.
Get to the roll call.
Roll call, Don Huss and I.
Beth Boudreaux, aye.
Scott Breyer,
I
aye.
thought you were gonna make that motion first, that's why I said, well,
I'd like to make a motion to seal the minutes.
I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes
Okay.
3-0.
I'd like to make a motion to hire Matthew Moulton as a firefighter paramedic at a labor grade 9, step 12, at $19.45 an hour, with the condition that he passes background checks, fingerprint, and he receives a letter from the fire academy extending his lateral transfer.
I second that.
Seeing any discussion? Seeing any, I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Mr. Chairman, do we have any other business to come before this?
I don't have any.
I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
I second that.
Well, do we have to roll call for that? I forget now. All in favor?
No,
Aye.
just that's up.
Aye.
No.
Aye, we are now adjourned.